Welcome my zombie killing, island loving, hoodoo you voodoo bitches. And now you guys might be asking, Mr. 53, what are we doing today? Well, if you read the fucking title, you would know, dumbass. But I'm nice enough to tell you. So today, we are going to be rating, or pros and conning, I guess, if that's how you would say it, Dead Island 2. Now, coming from a random fucking guy that played Dead Island when it first came out, Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide and Dead Island 2, I'm going to review how Dead Island 2 is compared to the old games and how much I like it. So, straddle in and let's get into it. Alright, guys, so with the first part of this is the storyline. Now, going through the storyline, I was confused at some point, and I would just. The waypoints would help sometimes, but then the waypoints would just be very difficult to understand and read. And just with all of the side quests and everything, if you guys saw my gameplay of it, I didn't do that many side quests. I'm still doing the side quests right now, and I would have to look up videos on how to do the side quests. So I'm not a big fan of the side quests, and it's just a very short story. And I know I think a week when this video is coming out, there's supposed to be a DLC coming out with I think more storyline to it. But also, I mean, why wouldn't you just put that in the original game? I know the dev team and the whole company itself wanted to get this game out really quick and make it good, but like also had more to it. Because to be honest, the ending spoiler, you just stay there. You just stay in L.A. or Helle, whatever it's called, and if you didn't do any side quests, you do the side quests, and that's it. So it's just I wish there was more to it. Make it a longer game because I'm pretty sure I cranked that out in like 20 episodes, but like also if I wasn't recording and I just did whatever I wanted to do, I probably could have cranked this game out in like a day. And which isn't a bad thing, but like also me growing up with this game in my life, I want it to be as long as it could be. I didn't want it to be boring or whatever, but I want it to keep pushing with the story. I want to try to at least leave LA, find whatever you had to do, and the final part is you leaving LA, fighting a whole crowd of zombies or whatever, or making it to the military or whatever, something bullshit. And just the story just cutting off short, and you're just stuck there, and Sam B gives you his sledgehammer. It's just, I didn't like it. I wish there was more. I know, again, there's a DLC coming that might add to that, but like still, just put it in the game, put it in the original game. Because I paid I think it's called the premium edition. I paid extra for this game, to get the extra shit, and I want what I paid for. Don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the game. I really do. But I want more story to it. I want more characters and just everything about it. Story wise, I needed more to it. But again, it's not a bad story. It wasn't very difficult between, understanding what you had to do or, what, the end goal was of that mission or the story mission. It wasn't difficult. It's just that it was too short. Sometimes I'd get confused on where I was supposed to go, fast traveling or whatever. And again, the main thing is just too short. I wanted more to it. I really, really wanted more. But again, we'll see what happens with this new DLC coming out soon. Hopefully, I don't have to pay for it because I already paid like $80-$90 for this game, and I don't want to spend more money because I'm a broke kid. I'm a broke guy, not kid. I'm broke. So yeah. All right, so part two of what I'm going to be rating. Now, this is something I'm actually going to be rating about with the old game and the new game. I do like how you can charge up your heavy attack, and if I don't quote me on it, I don't think they had a heavy attack in the older games and Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide. So having that heavy attack was pretty cool. I did enjoy that, and then kind of doing some other things to it. I just played earlier today actually, where I like slid behind a zombie and it had an animation where I could just stab him in the face. That was really cool. Um, and I enjoyed how the heavy melee weapons and the katanas or sharp melee weapons, I enjoyed that. It felt like the old game, and I really enjoyed that because the old game was something where I'd go in with sharp weapons, katanas, machetes, whatever, and I'd go in and just start slashing off heads, slashing off legs, arms, you name it. I'd just probably slash it off. And just coming back to this game and being able to still do that, get those critical hits and see a zombie get his head cut off is amazing. And one thing they did add, well, I guess they wouldn't add, I guess you could say modify, is the kicks. And as you can see here, I drop kick someone and they catch on fire, and that's one of the mods or perks, I guess you could call them, cards that you get from this game, is that you can drop kick and you have a normal kick, but you get different types of kicks, which is pretty cool because I don't know about you guys, but back in the day, the kicking in Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide saved my ass. I'd kick a zombie, they'd be stunned, and I'd slash their head off. Or I would, just keep kicking a zombie on the ground. So yeah. And another thing to point out about the weapons is the guns. The guns still suck. Don't get me wrong, they're good, but they suck. They don't feel right. I just don't like how they feel. And there's different variants of handguns or shotguns or rifles or assault rifles or whatever. And there's even a nail gun, which, if you guys didn't know, there was a nail gun in Dead Island Riptide. So it's kind of cool that that came back. But the guns still suck. I can't compare it to how Dead Island was, because usually I would use the guns for the enemy bosses, that were actually human. That's the only time I would use my guns in Dead Island or Dead Island Riptide. And, playing this game, there's no human bosses, which sucked ass, but, I do miss it, to be honest. Just being able to get into a gunfight with other human cartel members or whatever. But yeah, the guns suck. I'm just going to say that. The guns suck. I rarely use them, but they just suck. That's all I gotta say about the guns. But yeah, weapons feel good. I really do enjoy the heavy attack or light attack adjustments, and it's just something I did like that they added, and I like that they kept the feel of how the weapons are, fighting with a machete or using a big hammer and breaking someone's arm or something like that. It was nice to see that came back, and how those weapons felt when you would swing at a zombie was really nice. All right, so this is part three. Are we doing these? I don't know. I really don't fucking know if I should be doing these in parts or whatever. But this is my third thing I want to talk about, and that's the zombies themselves. Coming into this game, I heard a lot of hype about how gory this game is, and you know what? It is very fucking gory, and I love it. I love the gore of this game. I love that you can slice a zombie's fucking chest open and its organs will just be popping out. I love how bloody it gets, and like the floor will get all bloody. This is actually giving me a real zombie experience. And don't get me wrong, the other Dead Island games were gory, but they weren't as gory as this. And it's just something I did enjoy. You know, you can literally smash in a zombie's head. You can literally slice open a zombie's stomach, and its guts will come flying out. And also, you kill an enemy boss, like let's say the boomers or exploders or whatever they're called. They drop some of their body parts, and you can use to upgrade your weapons. That's fucking cool. I do like that. Don't quote me on it. I'm gonna keep saying this over and over again in this video. Don't quote me on it. But I don't think the older Dead Islands had that. So that's actually super cool to see. Now, let's talk about the boss zombies. You got the same old, same old. You got your exploding guy. You've got your big dude. You've got your throw up dude. You've got your crazy bone hands dude. Which all have different names now. Because I remember them as. Oh my gosh. I can only remember the thug right now. But they all had different names. And I really missed the old names. Because the thug is now called the Hulk, if I'm correct. The Hulk. One of the two. And it just sucks because, I miss calling them the thug. I don't want to call them the hunk or the Hulk or whatever the fuck they're called. I want to call them the thug, you know. But at the end of the day, it's a different game company. They wanted to go this way. They did it, and it's not a big thing. But I just miss it. I miss old names. I do. And now for the last part about this is how easy the zombies get after a while. And this is the same thing with the old Dead Islands. After a little bit, you kind of move through the storyline. You get to different places and you start getting better weapons, which is nice. But as soon as you get an electric attachment in this game, and it's like level 3 or level 2, it stuns zombies for like a solid 30 seconds, 20 seconds, and you get to slice at them as much as you want. And it's so easy. And that's most of my gameplay. You see me with an electric sword or katana or machete, because that is the easiest thing. Because you go up to a thug, you hit him a few times, he's stunned, then you start going for the headshots, and then he's dead. It's that simple. And the same thing with the normal zombies. It's just easy to kill them. 2 shots, bang, they're dead. 1 shot to the head, bang, they're dead. That's easy. It's just really easy to kill zombies in these games I want to say after you leave Bel Air, if I'm correct. Not like, what am I trying to think of right now? Not like when you go to find Michael, or even when you do go to find Michael, it's very, the zombies get very easy to kill. Which sucks, but I mean, it's just easy. And you guys might be like, oh, Mr. Defected 3, go on the harder mode. Well, no, I don't fucking want to. I don't want to go on a harder mode. I'm sticking with the mode I want to, because that's too much time. Yeah, it might be a few seconds, but I don't want to do that. I would rather play and kill zombies those few seconds instead of switching my difficulty and making it more difficult. Alright, so this is going to be part 4, and is this the old game? Is this like the old Dead Islands? And I'm sorry guys, it's not. I don't get the same feeling as I used to when I was a child playing Dead Island. And don't get me wrong, I'm an adult now, I've grown up. But I still go back to playing the other Dead Islands, Riptide mainly, because that was my favorite one. And I get that feeling when I was a child, but just playing this, it's different. And don't get me wrong, the weapons feel the same, or, there's some things that are the same between them, but it's just different, and especially not seeing enemy human enemies. You know, like in Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide. You know, there's guys with guns. You know, you gotta go have a gunfight with them. Blah blah blah. I kind of miss that because after a while, you're just saving people or talking to people and then fighting zombies the most time. I need someone else to, pick up a gun and start shooting at me. That is something I do miss in this game. Back in the old games, you'd go exploring some jungles, and then bang, there's someone there with a gun ready to shoot you. Or even in the original Dead Island, there was a Jason, if I'm correct. They had a chainsaw. They're hiding in the woods, in the jungle. That was so cool. This Dead Island doesn't have it, and I'm pretty sure it doesn't because I've done a lot of the storyline. Or, yeah, I finished the storyline, and I'm just doing the side quest right now. But at the end of the day, you sit down and you play the original two Dead Islands, and then you play this Dead Island. It's a good game. Don't get me wrong. I highly recommend. If you want to spend money and buy a new zombie game, please, okay, don't buy. Shit, I need to watch what I'm saying. But if you're thinking about it, take a chance on it. I mean, I did enjoy it. Enjoyed playing it, and sharing my experience with you guys. But also, it's just not the old game. And I don't go play the old game as much as I used to, but just playing this game and like it's fun, but it makes me want to go back, and I do. I go back and play some Riptide, or I play some, the original Dead Island, because I miss that feeling of the original games. All right, part five. This is gonna be the last part, and this is like what I would change about this game. And again, this is all my preference. I used to play the original Dead Islands literally all the time, just because I enjoyed it. Not because to get all the achievements or finish the whole story or finish the side quest or whatever. Just because I loved going in and just slashing zombies, or using my shitty ass shotgun or pistol or whatever and shooting zombies. But what I would change is, number one, you guys already know, I already talked about this 2 times. I need human enemies. I need it. I don't know why. Just being in a gunfight with a human enemy would be so much nicer than just fighting these zombies. I mean, like, look at this guy. Look, like, don't get me wrong, he shoots bones out of his body, but I still need enemies that are human that will grab a gun and just start unloading on me. And don't get me wrong, I understand they were buggy. Yeah, I had my fair share of human zombie or not zombies, human enemies that were really buggy. But I missed it. I really do. And to piggyback off of that, I wish these maps were bigger. I wish they're more open world. And again, I understand this was hidden away for years, and I sat there for years wanting it to come out, but never did until now. But it needs to be more open, and I understand it's not open enough. I need more room to explore. The jungles were huge in Dead Island and Dead Island Riptide. The map was huge in Dead Island. I remember starting Dead Island, going from the lifeguard to the lighthouse, going to save a guy that was trapped in his car from an accident. That map was huge. And just compared to this, where you gotta go to checkpoints or you have to fast travel to a certain type of map, that's normal. But the other maps are the same size as the other ones in this game. But then you go to Dead Island or Dead Island Riptide, you fast travel to a different part of the map or of like the world, and it's still huge. It's massive. It is so huge, and I missed it. especially the jungle feeling. I loved the jungle in both games. And now we get, don't get me wrong, it's California. They're dry, they have no water, they're not going to have jungles. But I miss the jungle feeling, to be honest. I really do. And I think the last part about this game, that I would change is the fucking loading time. I swear to God, the amount of times I try to join into my game and it literally takes 5 minutes for it to load up. Bullshit. The amount of times I try to fast travel and it fucking takes 5 minutes to load up. Bullshit. Don't get me wrong, I have a lot of games on my Xbox, but I don't think that's gonna affect the loading time. Like, why? I understand. Again, this might be just the game came out early or it took too long, so they wanted to come out super fast and they needed to have a long load up time for the map to load in. I get that. But like also, your company and you buy this game that people have been waiting years, and I mean years, for this game to come out, and they want it to be perfect, just like the old games. Alright? Take your time with it. Prove to us that you're not going to do what the other two companies did, and take your time with it and make this game amazing. And don't get me wrong, this game is awesome, but it's not amazing. Make this like the old game. Make it amazing. Because I'm telling you, don't get me wrong, the old Dead Island games, they had long load times, but it wasn't as long as this. I have problems with my load times. And it sucks. It really does. Because I just want to go in and slash some zombies, dude. It really is. It just... those load times really piss me off. Alright, guys. But that's going to be it for this episode. Tell me how you guys feel about this game. Like, your real opinion. Do you guys like it? Do you guys hate it? Do you guys agree with what I said? I really want to know what you guys think about this game, and do you think they're going to make another Dead Island? Because I hope they do, and I kind of want to go back to that jungle theme, or like, where they go back to the jungle. I really miss that. I'm not going to lie to you guys. But yeah, with that being said, that is all I got. Sorry I ranted to your guys' ears. But this game is amazing. Again, at the end of the day, it's a fun game. If you want to go in and slash some zombies, go ahead, get the game. But with that being said, guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one.